All right, guys, what is up? Today we have a special treat. We not only have crash videos, but we also are going to get to review a couple of your guys' builds that was sent in via Discord and Instagram. If you guys want to hop on my Discord or Instagram, the links are down there in the video, so you can send in your builds, your crashes, your situations, whatever in the future. But today, let's get into these crashes. First up, we have all on one wheel. And right from the get-go, it looks like he's on a scooter, and he pops up a wheelie. Quickly, his feet come right off the floor there, pause it really quick, and goes to the ground. Once again, on the channel, we get to see one of the dreaded sit-down spreaders. I don't know what's going on with these sit-down spreaders, but you guys are doing them, and we keep reviewing them in the crash videos, so I hope you're putting two and two together. So he's dragging both his feet on the ground for stabilization left and right, and he's working that drum brake, I think. Maybe, because this is a drum brake in what looks to be Europe, and he's just going back, and you guys seen it. I mean, it's just not a lot of brake on these scooters. It looks like he's in Europe or something like that. It doesn't really look like the US. I don't know why, but yeah, your scooters comes back on it like that. That's no fun, especially when you only have a 12 bar. And it's just not, who wants to drop their bike and slide on their ass for a couple feet in front of your friend like that? That sucks, man. But I think if he works the rear brake a little bit more and starts really trusting in it, as those scooters' rear brakes are not nearly like your sport bikes or your dirt bikes or anything like that, that's one of those things that is a lot more delicate. You can't just slam it back and expect to scrape on it. I've ridden a couple Zumas, and it just is what it is. Drum brakes suck. Next up, the original Foo sends us this clip from God knows where, and I can tell you it's kind of brutal. He says brake fade can be a real one, LOL, part of the game. So we see him coming up on a wheelie, his buddy's recording him from the side of the street, and he just comes back too far. I guess it's brake fade if my guy says so. Jesus, man, like the whole bike is just demolished. Fairings going everywhere. That is one of those crashes that you're not gonna forget anytime soon. It looks like he just pancakes hella hard left. If that brake did fade, then that is what it is, and it's too far away for me to tell you exactly what happened. So if you went to hit that brake and it wasn't there anymore, yeah, brake fade. If not, you just got a little bbit too squirrely, but I'm happy you walked away with that. It looks like in that very last little picture, you're showing some of your bumps and bruises to one of your friends. But yeah, that is not fun, dude. No one wants that. Get a 12 bar, get some crash cages. Yeah, get all that stuff you want to, keep doing that. That way, when your sport bike does hit the ground, it doesn't get absolutely obliterated into 1,000 freaking pieces. Let's get into these builds that I want to check out. So our first build is, of course, a 636 sent in from the 12 o'clock shop. This is a 2019 to current Kawasaki Zx636. And right from the get-go, it looks like my guy did a killer build. He's got everything from a tank to a tail, seats, big rotor, exhaust, cage, sub cage, windshield cut, dirt bike bars, fairing stay. Yeah, this is a full-on build of a brand new bike. This is not a cheap build by any means, people. But I really do love the look on these newer gen ZX6Rs. Right from the get-go, it looks like he's got a GPR 300 on the rear. What a great tire for wheelies. He also has it up front, however. That's where I'm not a fan of this build. And this is me just nitpicking. Everything else is beautiful on it. He's got a Magura handbrake, big rotor in the back. It is a really nice build. But if I was to nitpick you about something, it would be that GPR 300 up front. Still not a sticky enough tire to start doing those rolling burnouts, or even just stopping quickly if you need to. They're a good tire for drifting and wheelies, but that does not make them a good tire for stopping quickly. So everything else on this thing is beautiful. I love that Nardo gray color. I love the dirt bike bars on it. You have a stock front brake. Those stock Nissans on those current ZX6Rs are actually really good from the get-go. So I'll tell you what, man, that would be a bike that I would be really proud to own myself. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I like the little bits of purple you got on it too. Good job. Next up, a build that got sent in via Instagram DM from our friend Little Rock. We're going to be looking at a 2019 MT-07 build. Now, if you watched any of my videos recently, you know that these bikes are taking over the scene right now, and for very good reason. And if you want to, cameraman, you can turn around that camera and look what's in our showroom. That FZ07 back there is there for a reason. These bikes are taking the freak over. This guy's got everything: sub cage, 12 bar, It looks like he's got a handbrake on it as well. Yeah, he does. He's got seats. He's got a full cage. He's got dirt bike bars. He's got an exhaust. Just, wow. A lot of brake in the rear, though. I got to be honest with you, with a bike like an FZ, it doesn't need that much brake. The FZs that I have ridden with that much brake when I get on the highway is kind of scary. They're a lighter bike, so that's just my perspective, though. This is an awesome bike. It looks like you spared absolutely no expense. He's got the Brembo calipers on the back, steel lines all the way through, and yeah, that is set the freak up. I do love those MTs and FZs. I know I get them confused. Maybe you guys don't, but I do. They're just a great platform, and that motor, make no mistake, will take over the stunt riding game, as I see them get the absolute piss beat out of them and they get put away wet and they don't blow up. And that is truly the key to a bike making it in the stunt world, because stunters are assholes and don't like to maintain their bikes. It just is what it is. So I think these things are going to be with us for a long time. Great build. Shout out to my guy, Little Rock. So our next build comes from Dope Fernie, and this one is where it gets a little bit crazy, because today we have an 0506 ZX6R. Some of you guys know what I'm about to say about this. Some of you guys don't. This is an absolutely beautiful bike in its stock form, and it looks to me that he's going to keep it that way, which I suggest you do. He has a Competition Works exhaust on it, and it looks like a good set of tires and a fender eliminator and some HIDs. Other than that, it's a pretty modest, clean stock build. Awesome. Now, Fernie didn't just send this into a regular motorcycle rider, though. He sent it into a stunt rider. So what am I going to think about the 0506 636? I'm not a fan. I never have been a fan. I don't recommend you build this bike. It's one of those bikes I think you should just avoid as a stunt rider. It's got a half plastic gas tank. Now, why is that a big deal? When you go to build a gas tank, having it all metal to make your gas tank into a stunt tank is key. That way you can have a metal guy work it and stuff. And it's the 0506s I've seen that are fabricated, they're just not nearly as well done and roomy as these F4Is, the current 636s, the 0304s. And that's just where the problems begin on that 0506, because the 0506 also has a two-piece subframe that is notoriously weak, and it comes with that undertail exhaust stock. I know my guy got rid of it, but I know I'm going to have a couple of 0506 guys down in the comments. No, it's better, it's this, that. It's just more complicated, and it's going to leave you with a little bit more problems and obstacles along the way. I suggest you just move on along the way and leave these for stock riders that want a little bit more than a 600. So, beautiful bike, my guy, Fernie. I appreciate you sending it in, and shout out to Fernie for setting up my Discord. I appreciate that, man. And our last of our viewer builds with Brando Stunts. He says this is a 1,200 mile 0304. And it is fully built and pretty clean, in his own words. It looks like we got the 310 millimeter rotor, some beefed up front end, so he can roll some stoppies. It's got a full steel frame, or no, that is a half steel frame, I'm sorry, with the steel cage, sub cage, 12 bar, and it is looking good. A 250 millimeter rotor. I like your style with the M4 exhaust. It's that, man. It's a fab tank, clip-ons. Yeah, this is the one. I like it. I like it so much that I'd take it. But 1,200 miles, that's pretty unheard of. I'd love to see the bike that it started off with. If you can see as well, he also has an 0506 swing arm. Those are really good looking on our 0304s. It's one of those parts that I really haven't touched on my personal 0304, but I do like the way they look, and looks beefier. I don't know. Looks like he's running like a 50 or 55 tooth sprocket on it too. It looks like it's a street bike. So I really do appreciate you sending that in, and I really did want to end the night with that beautiful bike, and I like the wrap on it too. It's camo. So, all right, guys, if you want me to review your build, or you think that I want to rag on your build a little bit, send it down in my Discord or my Instagram. I love getting the wild ones, the dirty ones, the clean ones, the unheard of ones, whatever. Send them to me, as we don't just review crashes, and we don't just take phone calls, and we don't just have guests on. We try to cover everything here. So if you guys enjoyed the channel, make sure to subscribe, check out some of my riding videos, check out some of the podcasts, do whatever you want. I hope you guys are having a great day. Make sure to like the video, leave down in the comments what you thought of it, and as always, I'm going to tell you guys to respect life. I'm out of here. Have a great night. Peace.